Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Kitchen Table Scale Models. Coming to you today from the kitchen table. I'm George. I live here. That's my coffee, which qualifies this as an episode of Model Cars and Coffee. What I'm here to do today, I'm not so sure how this video is going to roll. Honestly, I usually have some kind of an idea of what I'm going to say and how I'm going to do it. Right now, I'm just putting one foot in front of the other. The old saying, if you don't know where you're going, just put one foot in front of the other, and sooner or later you'll be there. So that's what I'm going to do. Started out as a one-car build. I was going to do the 65, 66, what is it, 65 Oldsmobile by AMT. And as often the case, I see pretty colors, and pretty colors distract me. And I got some paint order last week from Jameston at Scale Finishes, whose paint has probably been on most of my probably last half dozen views, all except maybe one or two, or builds. But anyway, I got some paint from Jameston, and I was just looking at this color and thinking, wow, I got to use this on something. And kind of one thing led to another, and as is often the case, I'm often asked, how do you decide what subject to build? And there's no lie, I'll frequently see a paint color that catches my eye, and say, you know what, this would look good on, and well, that's kind of what happened. So I, without really thinking about where I was going or how I was going to get there, and everything else I've got going on in the way of builds with some hard dates on them, I just said I'm going to jump in and try to get 3 screw bottoms done for the Great Screw Bottom Appreciation Challenge Extravaganza, etc., etc. So with that, I'm going to flip this camera around, and we're going to take a close look at the screw bottom squirrels that have distracted me and taken my attention away from my USAC group build, and my actually very recently was commissioned to do a build for somebody. It's my first commission. No big deal. Well, it is a big deal. It's always an honor to have somebody ask you to build a model for them, and this is a special one, and at some point I'll share the story on it, but I'm not ready to yet. So with that, we're gonna flip this camera around and take a close look at what I've got done on the Oldsmobile and the other 2 kits I'm building and where I'm going with them, and show you what they look like, and basically bore you for another 15 minutes. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Sorry that took so long. We're going to start by looking at the AMT 65 Oldsmobile Dynamic 88 kit, which I've already done a complete unboxing on this, so I'm not going to get into all that. This kit, like all 3 of the ones that I'm working on right now, it's a bit of a rebuilder. It had already been started. The Oldsmobile had the taillights glued in, had the glass glued in. I was able to get the windshield out without doing too much damage. I got a little chip on the windshield wiper there. I'm not so sure what I'm going to do about that. But the back glass isn't coming out, and I'm going to have to mask that. I could probably use some masking putty to cover the taillights. This body has been prepped, pretty much ready to go to paint. Once I mask it, what I do with all my bodies, or at least I've started doing this, is not only do I work all the panel lines, door lines and trunk lines, I use one of these scribers, a 0.2, 0.02, whatever, millimeter scriber to deepen and widen the panel lines. while they might be a little wide for scale right now, once you get some paint in there, they kind of tighten up a little bit. So I do all the panel lines. And the other thing I started doing, and this kind of borrows on an idea that Don Yost pitched in one of his videos on doing bare metal foil, is everywhere I'm going to have bare metal foil, I also use the 0.1 millimeter scriber, and I scribe. This is a 0.1, and it looks like a 0.2, but I can show you what I do. I basically, you know, where I'm going to have chrome trim is I'll just very lightly scribe along the edge. And that gives me a little bit of a groove to follow when I start trimming the bare metal foil. I've done that on my last couple builds, and it's made a huge difference in the crispness of my bare metal foil application. Yeah, this is the Oldsmobile. The other thing I've done on this is I decided I didn't want the chrome headlight look, so I probably spent the better part of 4 hours cleaning out the headlight buckets, and I have some clear headlight lenses from the parts box that'll pop in there. I will probably put a sheet styrene behind it so to give it some reflection back there. But as you can see, I stripped the chrome. Here's the rear bumper, you know, with the taillights installed. So the bumpers, chrome's going to get redone with. Probably going to use Revell chrome. I'm not so sold on the Fusion Firm, whatever. I'm not so much sold on that for doing large areas. So that's the body. I chose wheels and tires for this. The mags, I think they came out of a '69 Oldsmobile kit, which is also where I took the motor for this out of an old '69 442 kit that I already pulled parts out of. So, and there's, you know, the ubiquitous screw bottom posts. And there's the other one. So that's this. The other thing I had to do, because I'm using different wheels, the kit wheels. If I'd used the kit wheels, they would have been mounted way inboard. I couldn't use the kit wheels, frankly, because well, this one was good, but one of the, or actually it hasn't. You can see, where are we here? You can't see, but this had gotten, the tire had molded on there, and those wheels were crap anyway. So I decided to go with the mags, and in order to get them spaced properly, what I did is I used some 1/8 by 1/4 styrene, and you know, again, this is a curbside. This is not a fully detailed model. It's, you know, not going to be showing off its bottom. Except, of course, to show the screws. But so that's it. That's the Oldsmobile. That's where we are. Color on this one, you know, I'm a little undecided. I've narrowed it down to 1 of 3, and the subtle differences in this, I don't think you can see. Let me get some light on here. Maybe this will help. Yeah, it helps a little bit. These are all scale finishes color. This is called Viridian. This is Gloom Green, and this is Deep Forest. You know, every time I look at these three spoons, I you know, I pick another one. I like the Viridian. It's got a lot of sparkle to it. I like the Gloom Green. Has just a little bit of blue in there to give it almost a turquoise look. And you know, the Deep Forest is probably my number 3. These are all just sprayed right over their black primer. The Deep Forest, again, it doesn't quite show on the camera. The Deep Forest has a little bit more of a pearlescent tone to it, where the Gloom Green looks more like a light metallic. But again, these are all scale finishes. pearl paints. So I really am liking these paints and the results that I've been able to get with them. So that's the Oldsmobile. So what happened? I saw a squirrel. I mentioned seeing colors and having colors kind of trigger ideas. Well, this color is called Breaking Blue. It's you can kind of, yeah, oops, I dropped it. That doesn't help. This is sprayed over a white base. It's nice and sparkly, but it's not overdone. So it really has got a nice pearl cast to it. Again, another scale finishes color. And you know, for a long time, I've had a build kind of cooking in my mind, and just the idea is, I just was looking for the right paint color, and I knew what I wanted to build. I just looking for the right color, and you know, I've had this one for a while, and I took a look at it and thought, you know, I got an idea. So I broke out my 60 Buick convertible. This is an original. I'm not going to flip the box over. You can see it's an original 1960 Buick annual kit. Picked this up at NNL East, I guess last year, maybe the year before, from fellow Mama member Dave Toops. I picked this one. Actually, these next two kits, I think both came from Dave. I stripped the bumpers on the Buick because the chrome was kind of crappy. I'm going to clean up these parting lines. You know, this thing was truly a promo. I spent several hours over the last couple of days doing a lot of sanding. I removed a lot of the emblems, removed the you know, sort of removed the Buick portholes. I got a little more sanding to do here, and I did all the scribing and that I talked about. I'm at final stages now, getting this body cleaned up. This body had the plastic had a lot of ripples in it, like little waves and ripples and dipples and stuff. And you can see I filled some in with some sprue goo back here and here. And I still got to sand those down. But this is the main color, but it's I'm going to be doing something a little different with this one. So it's not going to just be plain blue. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You're going to want to check back and see what I do with it, because I think it's going to be a cool looking build when it's done. And that's the Buick. And then last but not least is 59 Pontiac. Gave this body a similar treatment to what I did with the Buick. You know, did all the panel lines, scribed around all of the trim. I took a lot of the what I'll call extraneous chrome trim off this. I like going for a nice, clean, smooth, kind of a mild custom look. So door handles have been shaved, emblems have been shaved. I was debating on keeping these chrome spears on the hood. I decided to do it, but these two bodies are pretty much what I've worked on the last 2 or 3 days. I think I started working on them Christmas Day, and have been working on them since. So that's kind of where I'm going with the screw bottom. Again, this is another one. You know, much like the you know, the Buick had been. The Buick hadn't been started, but the Pontiac had been, and you can see I was able to, the way the prior owner had glued the glass in, I was able to cut with a Dremel and get the glass out so I can get a decent paint job on this. And again, this is another one. I got a color, and it was like, I gotta do something with that. And this is the color. It is solid pearl bronze, again from Scale Finishes. And I saw that, and it's like, you know, that would look awesome in a two-tone with this. And so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to do a two-tone on this one. Probably, I think the blue is going to be on top, and then you can see this chrome trim that comes down around the side. That'll be bare metal foiled, and then I'll put the copper in the bottom. Debating on doing a copper top. Also debating on painting this Pontiac Arrow in the copper. But I like a more subtle look on my customs, and that's starting to get a little less subtle. This is always been one of my favorite kits, our favorite cars. I had an uncle that had a green Bonneville convertible of this year. When I was younger, I remember that car, and I also remember that he ended up trading it on a '64 Grand Prix, which I already modeled a few years back. Again, I'm doing these all curbsides. I'm not going to cut the hood open on this one. I could cut the hood open on the Buick if I wanted to. It was made to be cut open, and there is a lump of plastic that thinks it's an engine that I could put in there, but I didn't. I decided I was going to just keep these simple. These are going to be more or less paint exercises. Painting is probably my most fun part of modeling, and I'm just going to have fun with paint on this one. Chassis are going to be, pretty much out of the box. As with the Oldsmobile, I'm probably going to have to do some modifications to get the wheels and tires to work. The wheels and tires that came with both these kits are these old big plastic thingies that look like hell. I'm probably going to use. I've got several of the AMT parts packs with wide white walls and wire wheels. I think I'm going to put those on the Buick. No, I'm going to put those on the Oldsmobile. Yeah, on the Pontiac, the other Oldsmobile. And then I kind of like these kind of pointy moons. These came with the Buick kit, and the chrome on this kit, considering we're looking at a 65-year-old kit, chrome in this is in pretty darn good shape. So that's it. I may have bitten off more than I can chew. If so, I'll spit some out. I do have some other builds I need to get working on, but for now, I'm just gonna put one foot in front of the other, have some fun with these. At least I want to finish the Oldsmobile and get color on the Pontiac and the Buick, and then probably put them aside a little bit and jump on my USAC build. And I've got a commission build that I need to have done by the end of February. That I'll be shooting a video and sharing it. So that's it this morning from the table. Thanks for checking in. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really enjoyed it, please share it with your friends. Oh heck, share it with your friends anyway. Who cares? If they don't like it, that's on them. And it helps me. So you want to help me. Thanks again. We'll keep checking back. I'm gonna probably be shooting a couple videos over the next couple weeks from the table. I'm home alone for another 8 days without any adult supervision, so gives me the opportunity to get into all kinds of trouble that I otherwise wouldn't, and most of it's going to be at the kitchen table. Thanks again for watching. Later.